All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, dive into the TA. Guys, we're going to kick it off here with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, big tech is showing out against SPY right now. The S&P 500 is the lagger. Big tech, I think the Mag 7 stocks are about to be, playing some catch up here with Tesla leading the way. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? All right, but over here on QQQ, you did close out right near the highs here. You're right underneath the 200. The fact that you haven't tested it yet does tell us we're probably going a little bit higher tomorrow. Probably going to be making up 498.58 up here, maybe 503.52. Not talking tomorrow, but that's probably where prices is heading. We're going to talk about it. All right, we're going to come down to the hourly time frame, and we're just going to say break under 491.38. Come down to 489.02, break under there, 485.84, which is where you just broke out from. You had a little gap and go action, straight up. Dips were bought the last two trading sessions, and now we're right underneath the 200 DMA. All right, so expect to test 494.49 tomorrow. Above there, we have 498.58, and then we have 503.52. All right, so that is the NASDAQ. And if you do pull back into these short-term moving averages from here, expect buyers. That is just typically how that goes. But we did get our first close on SPY, QQ, DIA, all above the 21 EMA there, which, usually we at least get a few more days of pop there. You can see, rejection, you went lower, but we got above it. And then you went a little bit higher the next few trading sessions there. All right, it's not always going to be perfect, but even over here, when you got a bunch of fake outs, you still had, another day or two above it. Once you started getting, close above it right there, got a little pop. All right, got a little pop, you lost the next day. So we're going to have to see if we can hold it these next 1 to 2 trading sessions. And if we can, guys, probably going to make it up here to 511.05 if I had to take a guess. We'll have to see. You're either going to get sellers stepping in a big way here, or it's probably going to be here, and preferably it's here. All right, and from there you can pull back down to the 200 MA, and you are going to see if you hold that. That is what we're looking at over here on QQQ. Come over to the S&P 500, SPY. Not as strong as the NASDAQ today, not really moving as much, but we can see you did get that end of day push over here. You participated in that, and it does look like it wants to continue higher. Just like the NASDAQ, this was the first daily close. Well, it's technically the second. You got slightly above it, both the 200 and the 21 yesterday. But, you came down, you secured these as your support today, all right? You see right here, you found buyers here today at the low, and then you pushed on up, into the highs after that. This is probably going to continue higher. I mean, I already pointed out how I think QQ is going to be continue higher, but just specifically talking about the S&P 500 here, this thing does look pretty good. All right, so we're probably going to be testing 577.39. Get above there, 580.91. That's going to be a big spot, and you're either going to be see sellers stepping right here, and then they're going to pull you back down here, or they're probably going to step in over here, and then they pull you down back down here. One or the other. All right, that is just what's likely. You're probably not going to go straight up. I know you kind of went straight down, and people have been conditioned like that, but I'm telling you, it's normally not like that. You normally take your dear sweet time, and you normally have these big old pullbacks here, and just like when you're going down, all right, doesn't go straight down. You get these big bounces at key spots into other key spots. It's a golden pocket of that move. And then you come back down into the big spot, and you get another bounce. Oh, another golden pocket test. And then you come back down again, big spot down into this gap. And then you got bought up. All right. Things don't typically go straight down like we just saw. All right. They normally get bigger bounces than that. We didn't see one big one. This, for all we know, could be the dead cat bounce, and we could be going lower. So you expect sellers, all right, either at 580.91 or, where that green circle is between 586.12 and 590.49. That should just be the expectation. To at least come down and, confirm that, yeah, we're going to treat this as support here, the 200 DMA and the short-term moving averages. And then maybe we get, the uptrend building out. We're going to have to see how things go, though. All right. IWM, still not looking all too bad. If it can get above 284, though, get above there and hold, we're talking 213.97 and then 217.37. On the downside, You want 206.02 to hold. That would be, test your 9 right there. Get under there, though, 203.75 and 201.99. You don't want to break here because then you come back down here. DIA, probably going to continue higher into that 430 spot. Just the hunch. There you go. All right. Now, the Mag 7 stocks, guys. Tesla is leading the way. Who would have known? Who would have known? We got a lot of lines here. I know. We're going to take some of these off right here. We're going to take that off. 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 All right. And we're just going to watch what's important over here, guys. As you could see, it squeezed up into the close. Broke above 283.65 previous high. And then, you closed up at the high. It looks like it's going to go straight for that 300 spot up at 299.29 up there. You closed above the 200 daily moving average here. I just going to guess it's going to overshoot it like it did over here, and it's going to probably continue this crazy run. Just a hunch. Get above 299.29, and you have nothing until 326.59, which is where you originally broke down from over here. It's looking really juicy. And yeah, I mean, I tried pointing out this is not a bearish look. People were trying to short a hole over here, and I'm telling you, I know it just like fell off the face of the earth and people are lighting them on fire, but yeah, I mean, there was a lot of negative sentiment over here. People were acting like it's not a real company, guys. I still, I see so many Teslas on the road. It's ridiculous. We're going to say like a quarter of all vehicles I see are just Tesla. And, I'm not even in a busy area. Just not. Or, not where, like I imagine, California, they have a lot more Teslas than over where I'm at. The company, it's an actual company. You got the guy coming out saying, hey, give it 3 to 5 years, we could be the most valuable company in the world. Yeah, that's probably going to do a certain thing to sentiment over here, spark some positive sentiment in the stock, squeeze out some shorts. And as everyone thinks, it's going to fall off a cliff, it reverses and it reverts back to the mean, which is around 300. Okay, so expect sellers over here like 300 to 326. Expect the sellers step in somewhere there. If not, the thing's going to go a little crazy. It's going to push this 384.29 to 414.50 zone over here, and we're going to have to see what happens from there. But crazy things. So that's Tesla. Come over here to Meta. We can see you got the break above the 21 today. You sold at this 632.10 to 638.40 supply zone we were watching over here. If you can break above 638.40, you just broke above the 21. And, this, for all we know, could be this day right here. And then the next day you have a $25 day. We'll have to see. We will have to see. But that would be like us, pushing like that up to 650 tomorrow. We don't know. Get above 638.40, though. We do know there's nothing until 659.50 and then 675.25. All right, so 638.40, that's the key level over there. Just like down here, 608.86, 610-ish. That was your key before. All right, and get above 598. So you popped above there. Boom, you went. All right, but you gapped up above it. But you broke that trend line here this day before. There's always a clue, guys, and that's all we're here to do is update these clues that we're getting each day with where price action is going to be headed. All right, and how to react to that. Lose 620.50, probably going to retest 608.86. Don't want to lose there because then it's probably going to start coming back down towards the lows. Microsoft, all right, held its own today. Didn't really participate in QQ's pump though. Not at least as much as I think the setup would warrant over here. But you do definitely have this consolidation. You got your second close now above the 21. Came down, found buyers off it today. Looks like it's probably going to continue higher. Get above 395.40. We'll just view it here on the hourly. All right, just building out this little flag action here around the 9. Get above 395.40. Then you're talking 480 and then 405.57. All right, but daily chart, clear as day. This is what I see as the reversion to the mean. This the spot it broke down from. You can see on the weekly time frame. This is where you have the short-term moving averages. It's a spot of interest. All right, so that is Microsoft. Coming over here to Apple, guys. Not looking bad at all. It's the strongest out of everything today alongside Amazon. I mean, Meta was the thing too, but Tesla was the strongest, but it's not looking bad. That's what I'm getting at. Above 224.22, you're going to test the 200 DMA at 228.50. Above there is 230.20. So you probably test 230, the psych level right there on this bounce. All right, but above 224.22, you really don't have much. I mean, you're going to have this high over here. 224.22, you move to 225.84. Above there, you're coming straight to 200 DMA, 228.51. Support, right there, you could just watch the previous day high, 221.48. If you can't hold that, it's probably not good. That's that. But that's the level I had marked out, 221.03. All right, so that's that's Apple over there. Here's Amazon. Again, you got above the 21. Just, level to level price action, guys. Now break above today's high, 206.21. You're watching 209.98. Above there, 215.90. Downside is your support. Come down to the hourly time frame. You have right here at 203.30. Underneath there, 201.20. Lose that. You don't want to lose that because that's right around the 200. You want to now confirm this whole area down here as support. So you pull back. This is going to be where the 90 EMA is. This is where the 200 is. The big spot we just broke back above. You don't want to lose that. Bad things happen. You come down to the low, but maintain that. Like, pull back here, bounce off this area, then you're going up there. There you go. That is Amazon. Coming over here to Goog. Not looking bad at all, guys. Again, kind of close above the 21. Guys, I think we're going to get, another few days of bounce over here. You're getting all these closes above the 21s. Some stocks again, second day up above there. That's typically not something you see once the things, going to continue falling off a cliff here. It's probably either going to consolidate around the current price. Like, let's just look at QQ here. It's probably going to consolidate around here, or it's going to continue pushing. Because if you, pull back, you're going to be expecting the buyers, which produces that just days of consolidation here. It's like what our boy over here on NVDA is doing. What is NVIDIA doing, guys? It's, just consolidated. It reclaimed over here the short-term moving averages, and now, you're retesting them, proving that they are support. If this thing could break above 121.23, it's probably going to push 122.89. As we can see on the daily time frame here, that's where, the top of the range is, the top of all this congestion that's going on here, and this range is $7.60. So you probably get a similar move, and that brings you to 130. Now you have the 200 sitting right here at 127.67 resistance. You're probably going to test there. Break above 122.89. This thing sparks up. This isn't price action you typically get before it's going to lose them. You are confirming these things as support. All you need to now do is push through the highs, and then you start the next move up. That would be NVIDIA. But if you lose 119.31, then you're probably going to come down here, and at that point, you're going to come all the way back down to 115.14. So you don't want to lose 119.31. That is when bad things would happen over here for our buddy NVIDIA. And NVIDIA, for the rest of the market to continue higher, NVIDIA is probably going to need to cooperate. You want to see NVIDIA over 122.89. Put your alerts right there, because if it gets hit, probably going to start heading up here, and that means the market's going to have a little more fuel left in the tank. So hey, everything's as a whole is probably going to continue higher for the short term until you then can hit this alert up here. There you go. All right, so that's NVIDIA. That is the Mag 7 stocks right there. We'll just quickly take a look at SMH over here. Chips still consolidated right underneath 230.80. Get a pop above there. Hold above there. We're talking 237, 241. And, if you want to see the overall market really push here, you're going to want semiconductors helping you out here. But again, second close above the 21 EMA. Not necessarily a bad thing. You're also getting the closes where you have these wicks, these three, upper wicks here, and then you gapped up above it after, sweeping the low of the range. Not necessarily a bearish look. INTC, guys, still just consolidating around here. Don't touch it until it gets back up here. You just got no reason to, because for all you know, maybe it just stays in this range. Maybe it does, but if it gets back above here, gets, a second close above here, that's what we said we were looking for, then it's probably going to start that actual trending move, and that gives you something to go off of. But right now, this thing has been stuck in this exact price range for quite some time. And the zone, this is the top of it, so you don't want to long right into it, or maybe you want to take a long down here, sell into that, and then wait. And there you go. That's INTC. Avgo, it still has not moved, guys. You were consolidating underneath the 21 EMA and above the 200. So, price is compressing. You can also see this little range you got going between 187.50 and 196.23. One side is about to give. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. but we can definitely see compression here, and it's about to go. Doesn't look too good over here. We'll see how it closes out the week. We will see. But with how NVIDIA looking right now, I imagine if that pushes, this thing is probably going to be pushing up. So we're going to see. SMCI, really not looking all that bad. You're still just consolidating this range. It's not giving you too much to go off of, all right? You want to break above 44.99, and you get that move up there to 50.61, or you break underneath 37.85, and you get the move down to 34.98. And if you don't hold there, you're coming lower. You're coming back down to 30 bucks. TSM, all right, above the 21, above the 9 over here. You popped above 178.05. So far, you're holding this move up here. You still haven't tested that 200 MA. It's been right there at 184.74 resistance. You're probably going to test these things, which, you know, it's the same situation as over there on the video. Like, we're still not testing it, and we're so close to testing it. Yeah, we're probably going to confirm that we just moved on under these things. Like, come over to the NVIDIA chart. Even if you reject here, like, you know, even if you're going to see this play out, go lower, what people are missing is you're probably going to be confirming these things. All right. You are going to get that reversion to the mean. And over here, you just lost a big spot. Just like you lost over here, you reclaimed it over here. We're going to have to see if you reclaim it. You're probably not going on the first try if I had to take a guess. Also, you just have the short-term moving average over here on the weekly time frame. They're just sitting right here. There's a lot of congestion here. There's a lot of confluence for the sellers. It's 127.67. Expect failure there. Just expect it. But you can clearly see buyers are putting up a fight over here. All you got to do is take out this previous week's high over here, and you're going to shoot up to the next confluence spot, which is 127.67. That can take the market with it. That's the thinking. That's the logic. All right. Is the market logical recently? No. But also kind of. It depends how you're looking at things. Over here on MSTR, guys, this is the one with strength. Bitcoin, I think coin and MSTR are signaling that we're probably going to get a breakout on Bitcoin, and then that could be a self-fulfilling prophecy to bring these things higher. But over here on MSTR, you see here on the hourly time frame, you had sellers again at the end of the day. Get above 343.37 tomorrow. You're talking 356.11, and the next stop above there is going to be where you broke down from over here, 367.76. All right, this thing's it's getting moving and grooving, guys. It is getting moving and grooving ever since we pointed out here. You got failure here. Well, it was actually this whole mess right here, and then you came back up, you came back down. Like, plenty of opportunity there, and we just stayed calling it out over here. And guess what? Then you got congestion here. We said we didn't know what was going to happen, but then you start breaking out, and now you're breaking above 322.30 in a big way and holding there, and then pushing to a new high the next day. This thing wants to move. It's looking crazy. Who would have thought that that Mr. Sailor over there was going to get its way another time? Who would have thought? Not me, honestly. Not me. But you definitely have the confluence for buyers sitting down here at the 200 golden pocket test. All right. And then you had 277.15 support that you kept missing there because you were bounced off the 200. And then you had a double bottom. Then you have a fallen wedge breakout. Like, it was all coming together over here. Now above 343.37, 356.11 then, and then 367.76, and then you have 400. On the downside, pull back into 322.30. You're probably going to get buyers stepping in there, all right? So just naturally expect buyers down here in this zone, 303.80 to 322.30. Probably not going to pull back right now with how this is looking, but if it does, that's what you're paying attention to. Come over here to coin. You found sellers here at the 21 EMA today. If you can get above today's high at 206.93, then we're talking 222.85. Now, if you just look here on the weekly time frame, reversion to the mean, it's going to be all the way up here. Now, I don't know if you're going to reject it like you did over here, but this is where you broke down from. This is where you have the 200 MA. This is where you have the short-term weekly moving averages. That's where the confluence is. And, you know, you also will have right above, 0.618 fibs in there. You're probably going to get to 220 to 230 in the short term here if Bitcoin behaves. But MSTR, with how it's moving, I imagine Bitcoin's probably going to behaving. It's going to be behaving. So I'm just going to expect coin to start moving from here. You are breaking, you had this base we pointed out over here. You had the bullish divergence coming into the week. And as we could see, we are getting those buyers stepping in here, given the breakout. You held, you pulled back into it here. You held it. You pulled back into that 199.20 spot today, and you found buyers off of that. For all I know, you're about to break above this 21 EMA and make a run for the next, area here, which is 222.85, which then also has the 200 MA sitting right there at like 233. So if it gets that close, it's probably going to test up here, which would be up there at 233.40. Above here, probably goes there. It's looking real nice. If you pull back and you don't hold 193.24, then it's clip. You're losing the 9 EMA here. This was all just, on the daily time frame reversion to the mean. You came back to the 21, you rejected, you're now going lower. We'll have to see, but in order for that to be the scenario, you got to hit my alert right here. If not, you're probably going to be breaking out. Probably going to be going for a ride. All right, now the star of the show over here, Bitcoin. That's going to be kind of determining where those things go, but at the same time, MSTR is moving alone, and it looks amazing. Just telling me we're probably going to be moving pretty well over here on Bitcoin. Usually one is going to lead, the others, and I think right now MSTR is giving hints on the others. This ain't looking bad right against this trend line, testing it for the second day in a row. Get above 88.7K. We're talking 90.7K. If you can get above there, that's where you broke down from. Oh boy, you're going to be getting up here. You're probably going to see some moves. I'm going to be watching coin specific over there, considering MSTR. I know the Ponzi scheme it is. I know. And it was really appealing down here because, hey, the actual price of Bitcoin with, its MSTR's holdings over here at Bitcoin, you're getting relatively close to the book value of those. And it was only a matter of time until it popped back up. But now, just recognize, guys, this is a Ponzi scheme of a company over there. Coin, hey, all right, it's probably going to get a decent move, at least back to the reversion of the mean. And that provides you a $20 to $30 move right here. I'm liking this guy a lot more than MSTR right now. We pointed MSTR before. All right, we pointed that out beforehand. But, it all starts with a break above 88.7K and then get above 90.7K. And I think you can see some crazy things out of those other two tickers I pointed out there. And you can also see, the miners, they're also starting to perk up here, test these 21 EMAs. And, very big, 20% days yesterday on CLSK, Riot, Mara. They're looking nice. Mara, right above this, right against this trend line right here. If you could break above tomorrow, not looking bad. Get above 1624. It's going to test the 200 over here at 1830. All right. Not looking bad, guys. Really not looking too bad on, all the Bitcoin stocks right now. Now, as far as, tickers that I am paying attention to over here, I like HIMS. All right. I like, what HIMS is doing. It's reminding me over here of what PLTR did. And then we got the little PLTR launch. Thinking HIMS is probably going to have a similar move here. We're going to have to see how this plays out. But if it can get above this 9 EMA here on the weekly time frame this week, I think the move back up is starting. This thing, just like PLTR, took quite a beating, even bigger being 40% over there in PLTR, almost 60% down over here on HIMS from the highs. I'm not saying it gets back up to the highs, but I am saying, look at this daily chart. All right, look at the daily chart. I think you could easily get above 41.32 if that can happen. We're talking a 40 retest, get above 41.32 at that point. Then you can easily test 46.35. And I think, guys, if the market is, people are really, coming back into the market here, we're seeing some risk on behavior. I think some of these names that, got a decent sized bid the other day, past, a few days here, I do think they can, they could outshine others. All right. But, you got PLTR over here. I really like the look of this guy. I think you are going to be continuing higher, but you got to get above 99.32. All right. Because if not, you're going to pull back from this. This is your supply zone. You're going to pull back from there and then maybe retest the short-term moving average where you just broke out from 90.48. And at that point, then you push above and you can, push up to that next area, which is like, 106 to 110. All right. That's be coming a ways there. All right. Next one we're talking over here, Kava, guys. All right, Kava. This thing, it was down for the count for a while, but you had that daily bullish divergence building out here. The thing is starting to wake up. I do think this thing is probably going to be making its way back up here around 100 to 110, specifically 110. But the $100 cycle level, that's I think we're going to retest there over the coming, 1 to 2 weeks over here on Kava. We're going to have to see what happens here. You have the 9 EMA on the weekly time frame sitting right here around that 98.69 resistance. But I personally eat their hummus. So there's that. I'm not saying that's a reason to buy by any means, but I do like the fact that I know exactly what their product is, and I like the taste of their product, and I know other people like the taste of their product. And this thing has been beaten down, and I'm just going to point out every other time it's been beaten down like this, rabbit dog. Look, I was expecting once it hit, this red line over there, you see I have that marked out. Well, that was the low over here you hit on the RSI, and then you built out this base for the next 2 to 3 months. So I was expecting price to consolidate for a little longer. He did the same thing over here where, price really didn't move all that much for 30 days. So even though you got these bounces, you didn't miss all that much until it started getting and holding above the short-term moving averages. Right here, you're getting back above. It's the same thing over here. You're not missing much on these bounces until you start getting above them and flipping the short-term moving averages. And then you set yourself up for a big pop, and you can make money off that big pop. All right, so I think it's only a matter of time until we start setting ourselves up like this, and then we're going to watch it for a base breakout there above, at that point, that's a bullish base. It's getting ready to launch off it. I think we could see a move like that. How do you like that? How does that sound, huh? How do we like it, kiddos? We like the sounds of that. This is something that I think is setting up over there. It's something we will personally on this channel be keeping on watch. All right, next one, SoFi. All right, now I've been pointing out SoFi. You're kind of right at the spot. I'm just curious. All right, no financial interest in this guy, but I'm curious to see if you are going to get past this little spot, because if you can, let's say you shoot up into the end of the week here. You get all the way up to like 1450. At that point, you're probably going to be pushing higher. All right. If you could take out like $15, probably going to start pushing back up to the highs. We're going to see how this thing goes. But, right around where you are, just like some of the other tickers I just showed, you could just pull back and expect buyers to, support you there at the short-term moving average over here in the daily time frame. And you just broke off of this out of this 1294 spot. So look for buyers over there. And then, look for a move into that 1442 spot. And then I actually will point out Netflix. This is outshining others today. And you are still looking to me like you want to push back up to these highs. I'm just saying. You did push straight to that 999 level today. And you found sellers at 998.70. So you got real close there. But it was pretty obvious over here. You got this resistance going on. You based out above the moving averages, just like I was pointing out. We could see on some other names. And then you broke out and retested the next day. Yeah, you're just going to push up to the next point of resistance, which was 999. From here, guys, I'm just saying, if this thing continues like this, it's having a ripperoonie. It wants to rip back up to the highs. This is where we expect sellers, if sellers don't step in right here. All right, and you even test 1032 here. If you test that level, probably going to make a new high. All right, so that is what we're looking at over here on Netflix. Now, Lemonade, guys, I do personally still think this thing is setting up to go. So something I'm keeping on watch here. I think it can be starting an actual trending move. We haven't seen the trending move start up on this name in a very long time, but I think it's about time. All right, about time this guy is back. He's saying he's back. Look at him, all right? They're trying to shove him down. He's like, no, I'm back. All right. Let's see if you can hold above 36.60. And then if it takes out this high, at that point, it's probably going to break right here. And at that point, it starts the move we talked about in the last video up to 44.53 and then $48. I'm liking the look of it. Look at this base building out here. It's getting ready to launch, I'm telling you. All right. So that is all I got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you did, please remember to leave a like down below. I appreciate that. And with that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.